Second half for Michigan-Texas preview, we're going to focus on what things Michigan has advantages of. And it's not as robust or as maybe tangible as everything that we listed for this morning's video about Texas. By the way, if you want to watch this morning's video, down in the link or down in the comments and description of today's video. But number one advantage for Michigan is, unlike Texas, right? Unlike really almost any team in college football this year, Michigan has been there and done that. They've gone through a gauntlet of games in conference championship games, college football playoff semifinal, and in a national championship game, right? They had woes in 2021 and 2022, losing that semifinal. They have been there, something Texas has not done. Now, Texas got to the playoff last year with a lot of the same group, but they lost, and they were down. They had to have a kind of a miracle and a penalty to come back and get a shot, and still then they kind of faltered under the pressure of, hey, we got a last-second drive. We maybe could take this thing and make a national championship game, but they did not. So Michigan has been there, and you guys have been here. We're going to publish this at 8 o'clock Eastern time. We're filming it right now, Jack. It is 6:03 Eastern. We're going to publish this in 2 hours, 8 o'clock Eastern. So if you're watching between 8 and 9, give me a like. We're trying to set a record for like 6 straight videos, 100 likes within the first hour. So 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock Eastern, 7 and 8 Central, whatever time zone you're in, give this video a like. Let's get to 100 so we can get this bad boy rolling and get this channel in position to win the day on Saturday. Let's keep it rolling on our Michigan-Texas preview. As I said at the top of the show, I've got 5 things that I think give Michigan an advantage in this game. I've given you my score prediction, 24-13 Wolverines. Jack's given his 26-24. Michigan is the undisputed national champions, right? And I think because of the Stallions allegations recently and the notice of allegations that came through, they look kind of rudimentary. There's no J.J. McCarthy. There's no Blake Corum. And then the guys that you think are, oh, man, Will Johnson, he looked like he maybe had a bad play or two. And then the Don only had 27 yards. Michigan's still national champions. And there are a lot of guys on this team that got a taste of that winning. They know what it takes, and they are going to be ready for Texas on Saturday. Guys, we are on Instagram. Make sure you follow the Michigan Football Report Instagram account. It is at Michigan Football Report. We've been posting a ton of stuff on there this week. We've been cutting up like 3-4 videos from every single show and putting it on Instagram. We're coming up on 2,000 followers on that account. Link is in the description. Give us a follow. This team's got championship pedigree. 20 of 22 starters this year, right? Of the guys who started Game 1, I expect the same starting lineup in Game 2 coming up on Saturday. 20 of 22 starters on that national championship team. Obviously, Barham from Maryland come over as a linebacker, and Josh Preeb coming over from Northwestern. But every other starter was on the field, was with Michigan for the championship run. And then guys who got multiple years, right? They went through the loss of 2022, an undefeated season. Terrible loss to TCU. Got 13 of the 22 players in this starting lineup were on that team as well. So this team is championship pedigree. They've been there. They've done that. They've seen what it takes. I told you this last year, Jack. I think I said to you after the national title game, we may have even said it on a show. I said, if Michigan didn't win a national title that year, I had no hope for the future, because if that wasn't a national championship team, too deep everywhere, NFL guys, the best quarterback, the best running back, maybe the second best corner in school history, the best slot, maybe the second or third best defensive player in school history, in Mikey Sanderson, just loaded everywhere, too deep loaded everywhere. If that wasn't a national championship team, 40-3 over that time run, I had no hope for the future for Michigan, and these guys, they know what it takes. How about number 2? It is the big house crowd. It is going to be a ruckus environment. You gotta want it, baby. If you're going to this game, you gotta channel those Michigan-Ohio State 2021 vibes. It's a Maze out. I'm gonna be rocking some Maze out. I have a lucky shirt, Jack. It's done me well. I am gonna wear it under the Maze because I gotta have a touch of skin because it's the lucky shirt. But I'll still be wearing Maze over top of it. Make sure you guys go into the game. You are wearing Maze and you are bringing the action, right? Stand and scream all game. If you're one of these people like down in front, get out of there. Go watch the damn game at home. Guys like Joel Klatt, he's going to be calling the game. He said this 3 years ago, that 2021 game, right? Everyone wanted it. We wanted it so damn bad. I spent thousands of dollars going to Vegas afterwards for 12 hours just to celebrate because how much it meant to you, how much it meant to me. He said it's the best atmosphere I've ever been. Bring it on Saturday. If you are there, I will not sit an entire time this game, unless there's a long commercial break or something like that. I don't know. I'll have my son with me. We'll have a few other people. We're going to have a lot of fun. Where are you guys watching the game, though? Let me know down in the comments. Is it the couch, right? Your home couch. Give me a C. Going to a friend's house on their couch, maybe. Give me an F. If you're going to a bar, give me a B. If you're going to the game, type S. You're watching it from the stands. Go down and give me an answer while I read this quick ad break from today's sponsor. Jack, I will be headed to Michigan, flying into Detroit out of Dallas tomorrow afternoon, getting to Detroit Airport around 7:30 p.m. If anybody wants to meet me there, get an autograph, get a picture, etc. But these trips used to be so much harder. And you know why? Because it was always so tough getting tickets. You're trying to coordinate with multiple people, like 5, 6, 7, 8 people going to the game. And all that's changed thanks to today's sponsor, and that is Game Time. I use Game Time to take Jack and I to the national championship game and to buy tickets, extra tickets for friends and family to this Michigan-Texas game coming up on Saturday. Game Time is a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only the incredible deals on great seats so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. With killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee, Game Time takes guesswork out of buying tickets. What I love about Game Time, and if you're going to the Michigan, Texas, if you want to go, you haven't got tickets, you got to use Game Time. You see the seats available, you see the all-in price, you see the view from your seats, and maybe wait till the last minute, right? Maybe morning of game day, right? Last-minute tickets, you get the best price. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account with Game Time, redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? Game time. Get your tickets to Game Time this weekend. Go to the game, stand, be loud, cheer, wear your Maze. You know what I think I'm going to do, Jack? I think I'm going to bring like 3 or 4 of my Maze pom-poms because usually they give them away. I'm not going to risk it. I'm going to bring my own. It's BYOP, but I hope that Michigan does do it. They've done it for almost every Maze out game, but there have been a few that I have not seen the Maze pom-poms. They make it. We got the Natty pom-poms. I'm going to bring a few of those to this game. All right, how about the red zone defense? I talked to a few people in and around the Texas, some hardcore, diehard fans, a couple people in the Texas media this week, the last 2 or 3 days. Had a couple calls last night, had one today. And they said, hey, Texas did great in the red zone against Colorado State this first game, but this was a challenge last year. And if you look at the numbers, they are accurate. This team ranked 120th out of 130, right? So real bad. 120th, 130th in all of college football and FBS in red zone touchdown percentage, right? So they got in the end zone. They only scored touchdown 50.8% of the time. Now, conversely, we all know how good Michigan was in the red zone, right? Against Ohio State the last 3 years, they've dominated the red zone. Against Washington, against all these big-time teams, we're forcing field goals. We're forcing 4th and shorts that Michigan, doesn't allow them to convert, and or Michigan's getting turnovers. 5th in the country last year. When a team got in the red zone, they only scored a touchdown 44% of the time. I think teams only got in the red zone 25 total times in 15 games, right? So we're talking about 1.6 times per game. Look at that math in the head. And only scored 11 total touchdowns. So less red zone touchdowns for the season than there were actual games. And Texas might have had a good showing in the red zone in their first game against Colorado State. But this is Michigan's strength, and I don't think they're going to, bend but don't break, like give a little, but inside the 20, baby, blanket those receivers, make the quarterback have a rush pass, and you're going to have the results you want as this Michigan defense. Number 4, Texas might have more overall talent. They might have more 5 stars in the roster, many more 5 stars. They obviously have, more returning depth, especially along the offensive line, especially over in the offense in general. They got more people in the transfer portal, but they don't have the top tier NFL talent that Michigan does, at least at the levels that Michigan has. We'll talk about that here in a second, but I just want to know what you guys are feeling. Who you got? Let me know. If you want Michigan, give me an M. If you're a hater and you want Texas, give me a T. Let me know what you guys think of this new graphic, by the way. We just rolled it out today. Instead of having the yellow bar at the top, we got to put it at the bottom, balance out a little bit better. So let me know who you guys got. Just give me an M or a T down in the comments. Pro Football Focus has a new draft big board that came out about 3 weeks ago, kind of towards the middle of August. And what do you know? The top 2 players in all of college football, according to PFF, for next year's draft, number 1, Mason Graham, number 2, Will Johnson. And we all know the quarterback position will likely be over, evaluated or over, what's the word I'm looking for, Jay? Overvalued. Yeah, that's what I meant. But it's a very good chance both these players go in the top 5. I was actually told by a very high-level NFL personnel guy about 2-3 months ago, keep an eye out for Kenneth Grant. He's a guy that could be just a dark horse, comes out of nowhere, and everyone's just salivating over him. Number 1 pick in the draft. So you got 3 players right there that could be considered, a potential for the top pick in the draft. Colston Loveland right there at 24. Now, Texas got a few players in the top 30 on there. They've got the offensive lineman we talked about on today's show, the left tackle. They've got the wide receiver who came over from Alabama. But those aren't for sure first-round guys. Michigan has at least 3. I think it's going to be 4 first-round picks. And these stars, Michigan's going to have them play at the top of their ability to win this game. You got those guys. You've got the running game with the Don, with Kalel Mullings. This offensive line has got to gel. It doesn't have to be 2021 against Ohio State. It doesn't have to be like that, but they got to be tough as nails, and they got to make a marked improvement from game 1 to game 2, which is where a lot of analysts say, the best improvement you're going to make in any 1 to 2, one game stretch comes from game 1 to game 2 in college football. Number 5, they've got the Stroud and the Washington Michael Penix blueprint. Now, I meant to say this too in the last group. I did listen to, Jack, you mentioned about Klatt's podcast. I haven't listened to it much this year, but I saw he had a little blurb in on it about Michigan, so I clicked in forward to the Michigan part. He was talking about this game. I think it was yesterday, maybe it was this morning, and when he published it, doing a long preview. It was like 15, 16 minutes on this game. And he said there will be a time in the near future where Kenneth Grant is the best defensive lineman in the NFL on the planet Earth. And that's not even considering that Mason Graham is considered the best NFL prospect, at least right now. So Kenneth Grant, guys, he's getting, 15th pick, 20th pick. Some people may even call him a second rounder. Don't be surprised if Kenneth Grant is not a top 5 pick in addition to Mason Graham, in addition to potentially even Will Johnson, right? Michigan's advantage. They've had success against the teams. They're not exact teams, right? And people are going to say, oh, well, they run this offense different, this different. I get it, okay? But if you try and take away who is the most similar opponents with what they want to do philosophy-wise, what the talent is on the line, on the quarterback position, the wide receiver, running back, it's Ohio State and Washington. That's the most similar teams that you have to it. And there's nothing you're going to do to, you can scheme up all you want and circle and X and O's and all this different stuff. Those teams, when I watch the games, those are the closest opponents that Michigan's had to what Texas will put out there on the field. And we're going to continue to break this down in a moment. But I did want to remind you guys, we are on Instagram too. So we want to kind of build the full following because we're putting a lot of effort into our social media accounts. So make sure you follow. It's at Michigan Football Report. It's again at Michigan Football Report. Link is down in the description. So we kind of go back to 2021, right? CJ Stroud, 3 NFL first-round picks, maybe it was a 4 at that time. A decent running game. Nothing super proven. Travion Henderson had a good freshman year. And Michigan bended but didn't break inside the 20s. Stroud had a couple touchdowns, no picks, but he couldn't get it done in the red zone. Fast forward a year, right? He had a turnover in the red zone, same kind of stuff. Even when he had a great play call, I think it was, he rolled to the right, and the kind of tight end went from right to left, was open by 6-7 yards, threw it back to him. What happened? Michigan had it blanketed. They had a guy covering it, and just enough room. Mikey Sanders still got that left hand out. Cade Stover caught the ball, boom, batted away. Fast forward to the national championship game, and I felt every time Michael Penix threw the ball, maybe not every time, but almost every time, it felt like Michigan had 8, 9, 10 deep guys in the secondary because every time a ball was thrown to somebody, there were 3 or 4 defenders making a play on that ball. He threw 51 times. That's insane, but only got 255 yards, so very low efficiency, 5 yards per attempt. 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions in the second half. Will Johnson and Mikey Sanders. Bend but don't break. I've said it many times this week. Bend but don't break. Inside the 20s. What we're trying to do with that, right? Just make sure. Why, James? Why would you just give up yards between 20s? Don't give up a 70-yard touchdown. That's how this game can get away from you real fast because I don't think Michigan has the horses on offense yet to keep up with a team like Texas. So if they're going to make plays, make them look long, but then half a set underneath. Look long, half a set underneath. Take 7 and 8 minutes. Slow the game down, right? Play to your advantage as a run-focused team, Michigan. Slow the game down. Make Texas take a ton of time and only sail for 3 points. Right? So even if Texas went on 2 long drives, 6-7 minutes, if you're holding the field goals, it's a 6-0 game, even if you're doing nothing on offense. Obviously, there's hope that you will do something on offense. So that's why Michigan's going to bend but don't break. I hope that they listen to my, their own advice from the last 3 games that we've shown there. But we shall see in, gosh, guys, it is like 40 hours away. We gained 602 subs in the last 6 days. Got a bunch of them to this morning's video, so thank you guys. We're 528 from 33,000, so make sure you guys subscribe. As always, send the link to a friend if you want to help this show grow. Quinn Ewers is the quarterback of Texas, but for me, Jack, what is that? What is that, Jack? That's nasty. That's just nasty, Quinn. You smell like Ohio State. You smell like a sewer. You smell like losing. Okay, you went there and you lost to Michigan. Right? No Ohio State team had lost to Michigan in 8 years at that point. Quinn Ewers showed up on campus. The losing started. And that stench hasn't gone away. He knows what it's like to go into Michigan Stadium and lose. I bet he's having nightmares this week, Jack. I bet he's having nightmares. I bet he can't sleep. The stench is still on him. Michigan must hit him, must make him feel uncomfortable. No, we're not wishing injury on him, but Michael Penix, right? Doing one of these. We said this exact same damn thing from January 2nd to January 8th last year, right? Throw up the J8s. We said, hit Penix. Penix is one of the shiftiest movers. Like, he avoids the rush. He steps up. He hits guys. You got to get him. 2.5 seconds is the number. If Michigan can get to him and hit him in 2.5 seconds, you're going to rush those throws. He's either going to take a couple sacks in key moments or he's going to make a mistake or two, throw an interception. Michigan can capitalize that off that and win this game, right? He's a senior. He graduated a year early, so it's really his kind of true junior year, although he is technically a senior because he enrolled in college a year early. Technically, I guess he still has another year since he did redshirt in 2021 at Ohio State. But I've got no reason to think that Quinn Ewers, aka CJ Stroud Jr., Coleridge Stroud, can go into the big house just surrounded by May, surrounded by you screaming, by me screaming, by everybody screaming, waving pom-poms, that he can handle the pressure that this big house is going to put on him. He's never played in an environment, maybe outside of Alabama, never played in an environment anything like what he's going to see on Saturday. So get down in the comments, guys. Keep the horns down going. Make sure you just keep it going. We've been inundated by Texas haters and spammers all week. So represent Michigan fans. Type my horns down. We'll have another video for you on Friday before I head to the airport. Till then, go Blue.